good stuff here. Look at this. Beautiful. Put that there. That's, wow, we'd like more. Everybody's loving more anything chocolate. Bring this guy over here next to me. Actually, can I take him right out of here?
You can take them
All
out.
right, I'm going to do this, Christine. I'm going to give you that. It would be easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
That way I'm not knocking plastic the entire time.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so this is what we're going to do because we got a lot of great stuff. Is we're going to rotate what we're showing you here on and off
Sounds like a plan.
and move things in. But let's start with the heart up here. I know that's going to be in there. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Love the hat.
Thank
Look
you.
how festive that is.
Well,
Hearts for Valentine's Day. Did your wife pick that one out for you?
She actually made this one.
She
for
made
me.
that?
She made this for me, yes.
Well, thank you for allowing him to come in today, and thank you for making him the beautiful hat there. That's awesome. So I have to say, I got so much feedback from all of you out there about bringing in chocolate delicacy. A good friend of mine, Sherry, just reminded me that on Thanksgiving she brought me a chocolate turkey, and it came
Oh,
from
yes.
you.
Oh, yeah.
And so she joins us for Thanksgiving every year, and Sherry, thank you for the chocolate turkey, and you reminded me that this is where it came from, so thank you very much. But we got a lot to cover with you because one of the biggest things that I really liked about this is that in the buying local and supporting local merchants. Now, there's a lot of great restaurants, a lot of great chocolatiers, a lot of great shopping out there, but to know that you have someone that is sourcing these products locally and hand making these. I called him the other day to talk to him about coming on, and he's got a 10-pound bag of chocolate you said your
Yes,
hand,
oh,
right?
yes, yeah.
So he's on the phone with me and he's holding chocolate in the other hand. I'm trying to like get him off the phone. So you're really immersed in what you're doing.
Oh, yes.
So I want to talk about a sampling of what you brought here, but I want to talk about how you source the chocolates and how you guys get into it because you've been doing this for a while now.
You know, I was looking at the calendar, and it's been a little over 25 years, and the funny thing is, I got into the business because my wife signed me up for a one-day candy making course at Rhode Island School of Design.
You're kidding me.
That was-
At Rhode Island School of Design.
Rhode Island School of Design. And prior to that, I sold live lobsters about 750,000 pounds per year. So it's a different, it's a twisted career path.
Still
But it-
culinary, but
you
it's
know,
just definitely twisted.
Yeah, but it was a good career path. You know, I smelled pretty good when I go home because, you know.
I said to him when I walked in the studio today, Dave was already here and he was arranging stuff, and I said, "Oh my God, that smells amazing." He's like, "I don't smell anything."
Yeah, it's rough.
So you've been this 20 years,
Yes.
and you guys have been in 2 different spots in Rhode Island.
Actually, three.
3, okay.
3 different spots. But this is, we made our last move to Apponaug, Warwick, and we love it there.
Everybody says you're in a central location. It's easy to get in and out of the place. And the compliments on your store has been that the store is perfect to manage and move around and see
Yes,
everything.
Yes. And we have a little more space. It's very customer friendly. It's easy to get to from Route 95. It's easy to park. We've got, you know, we usually open 10 to 6, and you know, we make beautiful candy. That's what counts.
So talking about those hours before we get to all this wonderful stuff in front of me here, 10 to 6, is that 7 days a week?
That's 6 days a week, 10 to 6. This Sunday we'll be open 11 to 5.
Okay.
We're usually not open on Sundays, but before a holiday, and Valentine's Day counts as a significant chocolate holiday.
Yes, I
we
would
will
say
be
so.
open. Yes.
All right, so that's important to note because it was already the question I got asked. Are they open every day? So this Sunday, special before Valentine's Day,
Right.
11 to 5. So make sure you're remembering that, Jeff, that asked me. Very important. I don't want you to mess up when you're going to get your chocolates because you ain't blaming it on me.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about where you get your chocolate from because you were giving me a little preview and talking about how it's important in people knowing where their ingredients are coming from.
Well, we use our dark chocolate comes from Ecuador, and our milk chocolate is domestically refined, and that comes from Guittard out in California. And they're a smaller, family-owned chocolate refiner, and that's important. Guittard makes a beautiful chocolate. The dark chocolate is from the Republic of Cocoa, and they're from Ecuador. And what makes them interesting is they are direct source. So when we purchase cocoa beans or when we purchase chocolate from them, it's refined from beans that are grown and processed in Ecuador.
Okay.
And the result is an outstanding dark chocolate. 65%, very high cocoa, not a lot of sugar, wonderful flavor.
And that's what and a lot of that comes down to is the percentage of cocoa and really the flavor that comes out of it from when it's sent to you, or it originates
Right,
from.
and the quality of the beans.
Right.
Because they're in Ecuador, and Ecuador produces over 65% of the world's finest quality cocoa beans for world consumption.
Right.
They only refine about 3% of the beans grown in the country. So this company that I purchased from is refining the harvest from Ecuador in Ecuador. So they provide local jobs, and they actually pay a bonus to the cocoa farmers
That's fantastic.
and the sugar plantation that supplies the sugars, and even the farmers, the dairy farmers in the Andes, which I also visited, and was very impressed. The quality was outstanding.
So there's a lot of talk, I mean, and not just with chocolates, which is an amazing thing, but a lot of talk about fair trade and fair trade products. So this is another form of that.
It has the same benefits to the growers and the communities that fair trade has. It's a different certification process. And Cocoa Republic is a smaller joint venture in chocolate refining. And their comment was, fair trade was a much more expensive bar for them to leave in terms of qualification. And again,
But this is more specialized with their.
it's a little more specialized, and it's an outstanding quality product.
And you can, believe me, you can just tell. So before we get into all the Valentine's Day and the chocolates, I want to get into kind of an overview. So we talked about where you are now and the type of shop that it is, but you guys are, for lack of better terms, 365-day operation, chocolates going, and it's not just this holiday. You guys are going for Christmas and Thanksgiving
That's
and
right.
Easter and all these different things that are out there.
Yes.
And that's important to me to highlight because we try to emphasize the holiday stuff and again, supporting local. And I just mentioned I got the chocolate turkey, which my kids loved. So talk to us about some of the things that you specialize in for year round.
And it's funny because every holiday has its own particular chocolate. So we're coming up on Easter. That for us is a big holiday. And for Easter, it's mostly molded. But for Valentine's Day is unique because we're serving the individual who's looking for something special for someone important in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news about chocolate is, even if you don't really know for sure, you can't go too far wrong.
That's
You're
true.
going to be
That's
okay.
right. That's
You
true.
don't know what the favorite flavor is or flower is. Well, and if you can't get the roses, but with chocolate, you can make a pretty safe bet that you're going to be right. And if you're not sure, you can always ask the people behind the counter because we pack the boxes. If the customer knows that they want a very specific chocolate or they need a particular one, we will pack it for
So you
them.
can customize that packet for
Absolutely,
them.
absolutely.
So in the case of something like this, which is awesome, a traditional heart, but this is in the heart where you can't see the chocolates that are
Right.
inside. So so let's talk about this one here.
Well, again,
Joe, can you see that, buddy?
This is a classic. So it's a mixed box, and it's an assortment. And again, the classic is a pretty safe bet because there's something in there for everyone.
And this again, they can commit it, like you've got the candy hearts up in the top up there that are
We have-
foiled.
yeah.
You've got all dark in here, but if they wanted to, they could put some of the white or some of these other ones that are
Again,
different in
they
there, right?
can if they know they want something in particular, we can put it in the box. Some pieces don't fit. We make a stem cherry cordial
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
rum flavored, and that just will not fit in there. But
So then you gotta get more creative, guys.
right, so if you want a box like this, which is also just a mixed box of really some of the customers' favorites, the butter crunches, the caramels, the sea salt caramels.
That's a sea
Sometimes-
salt caramel?
That's a sea
Oh,
salt
yeah.
caramel. That's a great piece.
Yep.
Very popular right now. But we have them in milk and dark. We have the coconut patties. There are no turtle-like pieces in here, but we have them on the tray.
What's this
So,
white one right there?
That's a white chocolate sea salt caramel.
Oh, okay, sold.
piece.
Okay, I'll be eating this while he's talking. All right, what else we got?
So when we get to this tray, these are all, except for the foils, which we put on there for a little extra color, these are all pieces that we make at the store. And we have one piece that no one has seen yet, and these are just for Valentine's Day. It's a passion fruit truffle, and it's an unusual piece.
Passion fruit.
Passion fruit. Well, it's a holiday.
I like
I
that.
think it's going to be a good fit.
I do too.
We don't have them in the case yet. These are the first ones off the line, so to speak. So if you want to tell me,
Oh, here we
if
go.
it's
I
good
get to
or
be a
not,
taste
this
tester of chocolate.
This is
This is gonna make a lot of people jealous right here. This one right here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The very first.
Passion fruit, very first one being tested
So
here.
white chocolate center with a fruit, natural fruit. It's got a nice contrast. You can show them the
I might have to have
beautiful
two
color.
just to be
You
sure.
might. I think we have a couple more.
That is absolutely amazing.
That's a good piece. Yeah, I was very happy with it. Took
That-
me a long
okay,
time
so
to get it right.
Everybody knows I love white chocolate. People tell me all the time that's not real chocolate, but I still love it. This, and then it's hard to see and a little different because I bought into it. White chocolate in there and the fruit flavor is not, it's delicious. It's like,
Because it's made with passion fruit. That's why.
okay,
Oh, yeah.
that was pretty damn
That's
good.
an excellent piece.
I gotta say that. That was
Was it
pretty,
good,
that was pretty damn good.
Is there any left?
Nope. 2 thumbs up on that chocolate. Molly's gonna bust my chops forever on this.
She'll be okay. We're gonna take.
We'll save some chocolate for you, Molly, but that, if you might wanna go stock the case, because I'm gonna be telling you, I'm gonna be talking about this for a little while now. Oh my God, that was good.
Now, some of the other pieces, very popular. So we make a turtle-like piece, or really a cashew caramel patty. And we source the nuts from Providence, Virginia, and
Oh my
Spanish.
God, I'm not gonna eat dinner tonight. This is gonna be my dinner
Well, you
now.
know, it's nuts and chocolate. It could be a complete.
Nuts and chocolate, that's healthy.
It's a complete protein. So the important thing is I make the caramel from scratch. So we're going to use butter, sugar, cream.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the way it should be. You know, there's no coconut oils or artificial fats. And what we have in there is that when properly cooked, that's what I eat. And that's, you know, the coconut, the candy makers have their favorites, and mine is caramel.
That,
And,
Right there.
And I make a wonderful caramel. It won't break your dental work. It won't threaten your fillings. I haven't lost any.
this
teeth.
one's got caramel on it.
That's a caramel piece.
Okay, I'll be doing this one in just a second. I'm gonna just keep letting him talk because he's doing a great job.
We've got a few more unusual pieces. This is a stem cherry cordial. We make
I'm
them.
gonna hold that one, all right?
Yep,
Let's
now
see.
this one comes with a wet towel advisory because it's a large
A
liquid
wet
center.
towel
Yes,
advisory.
you wanna
Molly,
have
did you hear that?
You wanna have a wet towel under your chin because if you don't get it, it's not a dainty piece.
It's not a dainty piece, so
it's
a
a
wet
large
towel
piece.
advisory. So
It-
gentlemen, if you're eating this, you wanna look
That's
classy.
right, that's right. If you wanna really impress someone, make sure they're wearing a white shirt, don't give them a wet towel because they'll have this large pink maraschino cherry color
I love it.
running down the front of their shirt. But it's a rum cherry cordial. It's a great piece, very wet, very messy to eat.
So
but it
these are
tastes
two different
great.
types of chocolate, though, right?
This one's dark, that one's milk.
Okay.
I haven't dipped the white ones yet, we'll dip those tonight.
Oh my God.
That'll finish.
You
the
just
night.
keep
It's gonna be
going.
okay, all right,
It's all
we'll
right.
keep talking. The sea salt caramels are the most popular. Of all the caramels I sell, that seems to be the in piece of candy the past year or two. We have a nice 9-piece box. You know, if you don't wanna,
This thing is loaded with caramel.
yeah, well, that's,
Oh,
you know,
see?
the caramel's the best part. Sorry,
My
too
God.
late.
Sorry, Molly.
That one's good.
I won't.
There's milk and dark, it's gonna be okay.
Oh my God.
So we've got a 9-piece caramel. That's a nice size, but again, we've got half pounds, pound and a halves. You know, the classic assortment, we go with the basics because although the passion fruit's a little bit of a stretch, you know, you don't see them
good.
everywhere, it's a great tasting piece. There's some things we won't try, but a lot of things we experiment and we're constantly trying to develop the next great piece.
This is still 9 pieces of chocolate in there.
Yeah, it's a nice size. It hides easily in case you have to smuggle it in, so it looks like you're nonchalant.
Fits in my pocket, look at
purchasing.
this.
There you go, so it's very simple.
Oh my God.
We dip a lot of cookies, so we dip the Oreos with the Oreo logos or symbols for Valentine, Oreos.
That's Oreos in there?
Those are Oreos.
Oh my God, I got to get that for the kids. They're gonna love that.
It's a nice piece. I also make a caramel Oreo, it's a great piece. But this one's very popular. So we-
People are telling me that I'm killing them because I can't talk. Sorry guys, I'm getting messages of people saying you're killing me, you can't talk. I'm like, nope, you're right.
Well, you know, it's.
I am loving this.
it's tough
So
to-
these are Oreos.
Those are
So
Oreos.
when you're thinking about not just relationships, kids, right here.
Yes, that's
Kids,
right.
very important.
Yes, that works for the kids. Yeah.
Now this box that we said, so we're under the cherries here. What was in this box?
That's just it's a classic pound and a half. It would look something like the 1 pounder, just a larger scale. So
Gotcha.
a 1 pound box will have between 25 and 30 pieces. The pound and a half is going to have around 45 pieces. So it's a nice size.
And this is, and can you guys do the wrapping like this?
We
Like
wrap,
down the
this
store?
is the wrapping paper we bought for the holiday. We try to get something different every couple of years. You know, you buy 500 feet of wrapping paper, you wrap a lot of boxes.
Yeah, I can
So
imagine.
we might have this next year too, but you never know.
So we got 2 more things that we're going to talk about here for chocolate, and then we're going to also talk about the rest of the stuff they carry. But I got to ask, because I'm like dying now, what wine goes good with chocolate?
Okay, so a lot of people are curious of how to pair wines and chocolate. And so what some people say is don't have a wine that's sweeter than the chocolate. And one of the things I warn people about is chocolate, it's a big flavor. It's bold. It takes over everything. You have to have a pretty bold wine to go with it. Now, some people recommend certain whites or rosés. Other people will tell you super Tuscans are the only way to go in.
See,
red.
that's where I would think, because they're
Right.
heavy, they're rich,
They're rich. and
but
they
they're not
can-
sweet.
They're not sweet.
They're drier,
They're,
yeah.
they're drier. And yet some people say a port is perfect with chocolate.
But port's sweet, though.
But port is sweet. But
Yeah.
it's a richer, full flavor.
That's true.
You know, it's a little sweeter. But you're right.
You could do a tawny port, it's lighter. That's not like a ruby port. So tawny's more caramel color, lighter port. But it's still sweet, though.
It,
Okay,
it-
my
it-
recommendation,
it's
listening
a,
to
it's
him,
a tough one.
go with red. Go with red. Save the white for me for later. Go with red when you're doing the chocolates. That's my
That's right.
advice. I think we should go. All right, what is this? This is like,
That is a caramel apple.
oh my gosh.
Now we're gonna move this so we
We
can
gotta
open
bring
it up. So we dip these caramel apples. We've done them for years. And so this one we did about a week ago. So we'll open it up.
Look at that.
So we
Now,
take-
this is the caramel that you're making?
This is the caramel that I make. So it's a Granny Smith apple. We cut it a few minutes ago, so it started to brown up. a
Joe,
little
can you
bit.
see this good?
But we
Alright.
we make these apples, we sell them by weight, because we can never make any two apples identical. So we sell them by weight.
Okay.
And it's better for the customer. So it's really, it's almost like a turtle, but there's, we do them sometimes with nuts. We do them without nuts as well. But there's lots of caramel, so it's really,
The caramel, look at the size of the caramel in there. Look at that.
but again, it's a great caramel. And don't refrigerate it, just put a little lemon juice in the apple, maybe a little saran wrap over it, because if you refrigerate it, this caramel will get hard.
Really? Okay, so wait a minute, that's a good tip, because I've done this before and messed this up then. So you're saying don't refrigerate it.
Don't refrigerate.
Put a little lemon maybe on the apple.
Just a touch. That'll keep it from browning. But really, think when you serve this apple, cut it like you're cutting a pie.
Huh.
But make it into wedges, and it will keep for a few days. It'll keep for a couple of weeks.
But just
if you
like
don't- if
basic
you don't
saran
cut
wrap,
it.
do the saran wrap
Just a
out too.
saran wrap to keep it from turning brown and drying out.
That's an
It's
awesome
very
tip. We're getting
popular
wine
piece.
tips, we're getting tips on the apples here. I'm loving this.
And again, when you take the chocolates home, don't put them in the fridge. They don't need to be refrigerated. They want room temperature. As long as you keep the house around 72, don't go over 80, your chocolates will be fine.
So there's got to be an exemption to part of that, because I put Thin Mints in the fridge and the Girl Scouts, and damn, those things were good.
Well,
All right, just saying. Now I won't mess up the chocolates because
those
these are
aren't
too
my
good.
chocolates.
No, we don't want to mess up your
No,
chocolates.
you don't want to mess up the chocolates.
So here we got to talk about this, because this is going to be the gift of all gifts for Valentine's Day here. Tell us about this.
Well,
Joe, you got to get this good.
They're chocolate handcuffs.
Chocolate handcuffs.
It's an unusual piece. We consider it our prisoner of love.
Prisoner of
gift.
love.
Yes, that's the way to look at it. We try to keep things very positive, and we think that does well.
Christina and Taylor, you got to get a great picture of this and use prisoner of love, because this is my gift to my wife right here. I'm loving this. Prisoner of love. So, all right, this has got to be a segue into other fun things that you carry. What other fun things do you? Cause you're making this mold and making these chocolates.
Yes, we have the molds, and it's a simple molded chocolate. It's not a tremendous candy making skill to mold chocolate, but it's important to use good chocolate, no matter where you use it.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. It's a skill. What you guys are doing, the quality of chocolate you're bringing in, the stuff you're doing, this is a skill. Seriously, this is, to be able to do this and make it turn out that good and come up with a catchy name, come on, this is fantastic.
But again, we make most of what we sell. We don't do the foils. We buy the foils, but the chocolate we use in the foils is as nice a quality as what we use in our own chocolates. We're very picky about that.
I think that's awesome that you're picky, because it's exemplifying how much quality you put into this and how much passion you guys put into the work. So congratulations to you and your wife both for what you're doing and keeping this in the community for us, because it's a giant benefit to everyone. Let's talk about, for the last couple quick minutes here, what are some of the other things that you carry in the store besides the chocolates?
Well, we do carry gummies. We don't make the gummies.
Okay.
It's great for the kids. Not everyone loves chocolate, so we make brittles. We make a peanut brittle.
That was one of the questions I
We'll
had.
have a pistachio brittle the next day or two. I do make a cashew and an almond brittle from time to time. We don't have everything all the time because we're constantly making things. We do run out.
Mhm.
But again, we want best quality, consistent quality, best product forward at all times. So again,
Now, if someone wanted to get some of this stuff for special events, I mean, Valentine's Day, we've just covered out of the water, and it's unbelievable. But for special events, you guys could supply if they called and placed the orders or
Yes.
came in and met with you for a consultation on different
Yes.
things, right?
yes, in fact, for next week, we're going to have chocolate dipped strawberries. Now, chocolate dipped strawberries are a great example. They're really only good the day that we dip them. For Valentine's Day and the Monday and Tuesday before, we will have chocolate covered strawberries.
Okay.
People can order those on our website, and we'll see it and pick them up at the store. We don't ship them because they don't ship well.
Okay.
But if somebody wanted a tray of strawberries for a special event and they gave us 2 days' notice, as long as the strawberries are nice looking berries, we can dip them and have them ready for pickup at the store.
Beautiful.
Other pieces we will order. We can ship our chocolates. You have to understand that we do our best to pack the chocolate so they will ship well, because as we tell people, once the delivery agents are out of sight, they use their feet, not their hands, to move
Right,
things.
that's true.
So we want them, we want this appearance. This is perfect. And if somebody wants to pick up a tray at their store for a special event or a wedding shower or bridal favors, or party favors, we can make those.
So, and I have to give you credit for that too on the site, is that your site was so easy to navigate, to go in to check and about ordering. No, but that's a great thing, because it's almost when you get to the site, you notice that, and then you're like, oh, wait, I can go to the store too. But
Right.
I got a comment from someone that told me that because they used to go to the store, now they order from you to do it. So, I mean, it was very user-friendly to be able to go through the site.
Well, again, it's helpful, when we get the orders for strawberries, you know, the first strawberries we do in the morning are for the orders, and they typically get the biggest and the best strawberries first.
Okay.
Because, you know, those people are giving us the greatest opportunity to select the best items for them.
That's
And, you know,
fantastic.
strawberries vary. So we're trying to get a nice, consistently delicious piece for everyone.
Well, Dave, you're an awesome candy maker, and congratulations to you and your wife on your success, and thank you for being a good part of Rhode Island. You got a great product. So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you very much for coming
Thank
in.
you for
Really
having me.
appreciate it. Thank you for making me eat and not talk. That was fantastic. That doesn't happen a lot. All right, so we will be eating some of these again later, and yes, you will see me taking some more pictures, especially of this Prisoner of Love Taylor. We gotta make sure we get that out there. All right,
I'll walk this up.
so that one.
Thank you.
Christine's got the wrapper for this guy right here.